Good morning, fellow zombies. Are we alive yet? Are we awake yet? Yeah, it's only 9:37 in the morning, Saturday, the 25th of April, 2026. Diary of the Griever named John Weaver, which is me in Roseman, California, dealing with the armful again. The whiner baby. Yeah. Tuesday's coming up where I get to take her to the vet. The appointment for it. Monday I have to make the arrangements with Dial-A-Ride on it. So I can get her in there as soon as possible. I know they've been talking about Trump losing his lid. And they already lost Phelan, former Secretary of the Navy, because it wasn't on Hegseth's mind or playbook. But there's a guy named Hung Chow. I'm not kidding. There's a guy named Hung Chow who was undersecretary who became acting sec. From what some of his information online seems to be legitimate enough, but then some of the other independents are picking up on other resources and finding out how nuts this guy is. And then there's videos and audio tapes on Chow saying that he hates witches. He wants alpha males and females to eat their own guts. And he doesn't like drag queens. He's in the same mindset as Hegseth. Now, the thing of it is, when I checked his Wik on this one, Wikipedia, this thing was updated quite recently. A couple of days ago. Is this today the 25th? 25th, not 26th, thank God. Okay, so it is the 25th. So this was updated yesterday to put in a lot more information than what's already been established already. A lot more references to weird stuff that he's been undergoing himself. And in the references, even though they don't mention it anywhere else, but they do mention in the references about him wanting no witches in the Monterey Bay or Monterey community in California, and they couldn't even verify this stuff. There's been articles in the local paper out there saying that they know what the hell this guy's talking about. Virginia, Chow went after. Talk about witches. The witches are out there. The witches are out there. Oh my God, I'm a Christian and I'm scared of them. I was thinking to myself, wait a second. What the hell is your major malfunction again? You're scared of witches? They're witches. They're not Christians. I'm like, but you're supposed to be a Christian. You keep spouting it off and probably haven't followed Christ. But they're devil worshippers. They kept saying that about D&D players or anybody else playing video games or anything else for that matter. Staunchly conservative nut job. He came over. Uh, let's see. He was born in Saigon, and family immigrated to the United States. He had been an assistant, actually been an international student in the Philippines. Got scholarships before getting a PhD at Cornell. So he had special skills. When he was in the U.S., he entered the Navy, seaman recruit, graduated out of the Naval Academy about 10 years later, or less than several years. A bachelor's degree in ocean engineering, a specialist in ordnance disposal and salvage diving. And with that, he was involved with the crash of recovery of a 1999 Martha's Vineyard. 2008, he received Master's of Science Applied Physics at the Naval Postgraduate School. 30 years active in the Navy, retired as a captain. 2021. Operational deployments in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Somalia. And since he already had bomb disposal, I suppose that's what's been happening in Iraq. Mine removal, landmines, and IUDs, both in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Somalia. Of course, he earned a Command Ashore badge, the Navy Diving Officer badge, and Explosive Ordnance Disposal Warfare Officer's badge. So basically, he was hip on stuff regarding defense, intelligence, homeland security agencies, as being a government contractor. I mean, that portion of it would tell me, okay, in one instance, he would be qualified to maybe step up as acting SecDef. But when you account for the other outrageous shit he's been saying publicly, that he hadn't denied, they hadn't scrubbed out of the internet, but just been flagrant about it. So, in his speech to the troops, he's copying Hegseth of being a warmonger. I thought after seeing him being deployed 30 years in the Navy, that this guy would stay away sometimes from the military. I mean, hell, the guy's only what? 55 approximate? He's 5 years younger than I am. He's already seen combat in Somalia. He's already seen combat in Afghanistan and Iraq. Probably in the Second Gulf. I call it the Second Gulf War because that's how we got ourselves into it. And with that being said, that alone, without all the other superfluous shit, would have qualified him. Now, if he was also caught on camera drinking his ass off like crazy, or if there had been police reports or anything else of that nature, that would also kind of be brushed aside, according to the Trump administration, because they accept current FBI Director Kash Patel, of being a drunkard, and Hegseth being a drunkard. But going after witches, going after transvestites, going after wokeism, making jokes about wearing a mask, round circles instead of slanted. Yeah, there's been some people digging up some stuff on this guy. If I hadn't heard about him going after witches, now what's me focused on that one? Well, saw some videos being caught. You see, they would blame all the left-wing media for this one. Only because when they find out about weird shit happening in the right wing, are we that crazy enough to hide our stuff even further that we don't want anybody else to know about it? There's a Christian group out in California somewhere. I don't like witches either. It's one of them, I don't know, stuck up their asses higher regarded religions out there. Call themselves Christians, but no, they ain't Christian. It's like attack everybody, attack everybody. It kind of reminds me of Westboro Baptist Church. Because they attack everybody. Witches is just, I don't know, what the hell they're looking at, magic or something like that? Oh, they're looking at the worship of nature in a way. They're called Wiccans, if I'm not mistaken. And what's wrong with worshiping nature? Nature is a force of the universe, maybe, and it goes against Christianity. According to what, if you really want to be strict about it, concerning about the Ten Commandments, not everybody, not every religion follows the Ten Commandments. If you notice. Because, yes, if there is a jealous God out there, and he's pretty jealous about things, how come he hadn't beaten up on the universe? How come he hadn't caused anything else to be like that? I mean, hell, he gave them humans a choice. According to what's been written into the Bible. And we got no other confirmation except what's being written into the Bible. So we have to accept that one. But, if there was a war in the heavens, imagine, just hear me out on this one, guys. If there was a war in heaven against the gods, wouldn't we have seen the effects of it? Or would we have? Or maybe we could just look at the universe in a way that if there was a war in the universe, we were seeing the evidence of it. Black holes, quasar explosions, galaxies ripping each other apart or merging with each other. Forces of nature that would take billions of years, light information streaming to our little planet. And we would see the after effects of what happened a long time ago. Maybe when the universe blew up into existence, maybe that was something that happened well before we understood anything. The universe was created, and we were created. Was it after an explosion or anything else happening prior to that? Was there a war in heavens? Or were there all these gods going after each other and trying to kill each other? We can make the stories up like crazy, but the problem is having the proof of it's another thing altogether. So they're going to tell me that Wiccans are evil. Well, if the Wiccans are worshiping nature, how is that evil? If they're looking at the trees, they're looking at the plant life, they're looking at Gaia in itself, what's wrong with that? But transvestites, well, you guys have a problem concerning about genders being screwed up? And you think it's a genetic anomalies? The thing is, when I'm so used to the male and female concept, it's still taking me a long while to grasp that they are different changes that are commonly accepted ways of thinking that we've had for millenniums and millenniums and millenniums. All the way until we started recording things down. We couldn't stand anything else different. Amphibious frogs. Frogs. They can't find a mate. They gotta pollinate themselves. Asexual. You can't find a female, and you've got the genders for it, you're doing it. Was that a genetic anomaly? We hadn't seen anything else concerning about genetic anomalies like that. Frogs came, as the scientists hypothesized, from taking Darwinism to a level that they couldn't pregnant themselves. If they couldn't find something to pregnant them, well, they had to do the job themselves. And what happens if this was part of the genetic makeup of the dinosaurs a long time ago? But we have a problem concerning about human beings born differently, mentally and physically, or mentally or physically somehow. And it's hard for some of us who are hardwired a bit of accepting that. because we were born but brainwashed into one way of thinking, and it takes a while for that thinking to get reclarified. People who I thought were of one essence, of one sort, changed throughout the years into something else. And while I retain the images of what was a long time ago, and kept thinking, this person is not who and what I expected. This person was what they were showing to me that they wanted me to see them as. But then again, as time goes on, they revealed a different nature. I am ashamed of myself sometimes. And I have to say it. Because there was a very good friend a long time ago. At one time, he was known by one family name. One given name for his first. And a pretense. And he was afraid of people judging him. At the time, I thought it was him. But after learning about his transformation into something else, I should have been, and I wasn't. I guess maybe I was really out of it at that time because I tore apart a friendship. I kept calling this person the one name I knew him as, not as what she wanted to be. And that's kind of hard sometimes because when we're so used to one version, how long does it take before it's too late to say I'm sorry? Yeah. A long time ago in high school. And those are the memories I had and held on to for so long. Change sucks. When you're stuck on one and you think it's only it, and you can't accept anything else beyond that. That's when it really sucks. I would pray for forgiveness. I would pray for that. I look at her still as the boy I knew a long time ago. My friend. I hope in this new age I can still find that friend again. It's acceptance and acknowledgement that things are changing, things have changed, and other people can't deal with it because the change scares the crap out of them. They'll say, why? Why does it have to be this way? Why can't it be the way we thought it would be? Because we're not mature enough to understand. And we don't want to understand. It's too damn scary for us ignorant bastards. We do it to a lot of people. Doesn't matter if they're witches or not. Doesn't matter if they're socialists or communists. We can't accept the person for who and what the person is. Then we're no damn good, are we? Even an acknowledgement would be better than nothing. It would be better than nothing. It would be. Anyway, I'm off on a deep tangent, guys. Sorry. That being said.